Most people on £30,000 a year think that they've got nothing left to invest, but the numbers say something completely different. I started investing when I was earning peanuts at 22 years old, so I get how hard it can be, especially right now with the current cost of living crisis. But today I'm breaking down exactly where a 30k salary goes, and more importantly, where it should be going. Before we run the numbers, we need to talk about why you are not already investing. And for most people, they fall in one of three different traps. Trap number one is the feeling that you need to earn more money before you can start to invest. Now, this one is a little bit of a myth, and it mostly comes down to lifestyle creep. When most people start to earn more money, they don't think about what they can invest. They start to upgrade their lifestyle. They start to look at new cars, new homes, maybe going on that extra holiday every year. And before they know it, that extra income on a monthly basis has just completely disappeared. Trap number two is when you tell yourself that you'll fix your finances next month, but you won't. Will you? It's a bit like a New Year's resolution. You're all pumped at the beginning, you're super motivated, and within a couple of weeks, it's just a secondary thought. Typically, you'll have moments where you think it's a great idea to get moving with this, but you just keep kicking the can down the road and it never actually happens. And lastly, trap number three, the most dangerous one of all three, is the social media comparisons. Humans have this tendency to compare themselves to others, and when we have applications these days like Instagram, it's very easy to see other people on their best days. We see them sharing their new car, going on holiday to the Maldives, and you start to think about how you should probably be doing these things and having these things as well. But what we don't see behind these posts are the true finances in the background. We don't know if these holidays are taken out on a credit card that they simply can't afford to pay back. We don't know if the car is on a PCP or finance deal. But we don't think about that bit. We just feel like we need to have the same things. Many of us know that comparison is the thief of joy, but it's hard to remind yourself of this every single day when you're seeing people share their highlights. So if you find yourself not investing on a regular monthly basis because of one of these three traps, there is luckily one simple fix. And I'm going to show you exactly what this is right now. The fix to this is starting small. And some of you watching who are earning £30,000 a year or similar may still be thinking, well, how do I even start at all when I'm earning a salary like this? So let's break down exactly where your monthly take home is going right now and where it should be going. So somebody earning £30,000 a year after deductions, including a student loan and a regular pension contribution, will be taking home just over £2,000 a month. But for the purpose of today's video, we are going to use the nice round number of a flat £2,000. And we're going to break up the monthly spending into three different categories. First of all, we have the essentials, then we have the allow it section, and then we have the red category, the no-go. So when it comes to essential spending, and here we're talking about the rent or mortgage and utility bills, the UK average is roughly around 40 to 60% depending on where you live. Now, of course, this UK average is taking in salaries on the whole scale. So I thought this wasn't really specific enough, and I felt it was a little bit harsh to use the number down the middle here at 50%. So I had a look at what the average essential spend was for people earning anywhere in the 30k range, and this number came to 45 to 55%, meaning that going down the middle again and using 50% just basically added confluence to the first number. So yes, we're going to assume at this point that 50% of that monthly take home of £2,000 is going to essential bills. Do keep in mind that this is a UK average, so your personal situation might be a little different, but for the purpose of this video, we now have spent £1,000 on the essentials with £1,000 left in the pot. Next up, we have the allow it category, and we use this all of the time in the bank statement breakdown videos. And what this basically means is that they are not necessarily essential. We can live without them, but they are completely reasonable things to be spending money on on a monthly basis. Just to give some examples here, it could be your phone bill going out for £40 a month. It could be a gym membership for another £40 a month, or even your broadband at the same rate. It could also be different streaming services for £25 a month, or your car insurance for £70 a month. And just as a quick example, these things will tally up to around £215 each month. Now again, I completely realise that this is personal and everybody's allow it list is going to look very different. What you need to do is print off your bank statement and get a couple of different highlighters and start to categorise your own spending. But ultimately the aim here is to have around 15 to 20% of your monthly take home going towards the allow it category, which in the case of a 30k salary would be roughly around £300 to £400. Before we move on to the final category, the red category, there is a very important thing that we also need to include here, and that is savings. Savings and investing are very different. They're two completely different pots. Now, regular people like you and me would save up on a monthly basis and potentially contribute this towards things like holidays, Christmas presents, birthday presents, an emergency fund, a car repair, maybe even a new car. These are all examples of what savings should be for. And if you don't save anything and invest all of the capital that you can, you will then be dipping into your investments to pay for these specific types of things. Therefore, we need to have both going on, and it needs to be a reasonable and realistic amount going into both pots. Now, the average person in the UK looks to save around 10% each month, which in this case would be around £200. And for somebody earning 30k a year, this is a really healthy amount, £2,400 a year put aside for all these types of things. So far, we've got 50% each month going out on essentials. We've got 17.5% in the allow it category, and then we've got 10% in savings, which takes us to a total of 77.5%, which means this comes to an average of around £1,550, meaning that there is only £450 remaining from that monthly take home. So where is this remaining money going to go? And at this point, we introduce the red category. Now, for most people, this is where all of that remaining money will go. They won't even consider investing a penny of it. Examples of red category spending could be takeaways, eating out, pubs and bars, gambling, retail therapy, and car finance. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot do any of these things. Life is for enjoying. We have to be realistic here, and we're not saying to cut down this category to zero. The idea here is to have a set monthly budget for the red category for you to do the things that you enjoy. And again, this is all personal preference. So what you decide to spend your money on might not be the same as the next person. That's absolutely fine as long as you are sticking to that budget. Now, I actually did a video very recently covering the 5 biggest red category spends based on the data from the 13 bank statement breakdown videos so far that I've put out on this channel. If you want to check that video out for a little bit of inspiration on where you can be cutting back, I'll leave the link down below in the description. So we've established that we don't want to cut this down to absolutely nothing. But the bigger question here is, can we be investing something? Now, some of you will be aware of Dave Ramsey, one of the biggest influential people in the finance space when it comes to budgeting and investing. He recommends that everybody aims to invest 15% of their monthly take home, but I don't necessarily agree with this fixed figure because I know how difficult it is right now with the current cost of living. Now, I think it would be a lot more reasonable for you to ask yourself, can you invest half of what Dave Ramsey recommends? Can you invest 7.5% of your monthly take home each month? So based on our numbers so far, with a £2,000 a month take home, we have £450 left. So the question at this point is £300 a month an adequate amount to enjoy life whilst investing around £150 each month, which is the 7.5%? And then if we want to break it down even further, you would then ask yourself, is £75 a week to enjoy yourself enough? For most people, I would assume that the answer should be yes, but this is something that you have to come to your own terms with. You have to understand that you need to stick to this budget. not me. Okay, so let's now run some numbers to just paint the picture of how effective investing £150 a month can be in the long term. This is very much age dependent, but if you was to invest at £150 a month based on a 10% return, which is the average for the S&P 500 historically, not adjusted for inflation, you would have this much over a 10, 20, 30 and 40 year time frame. After 10 years, you would have roughly around £30,000. And after 20 years, you would clear six figures at approximately £108,000. After 30 years, it's 312k. And after 40 years, it's 839k, almost hitting that seven-figure territory. It goes without saying that the earlier you start, the better, because you give your investment portfolio more time to compound those returns. And you also have to keep in mind that this is on top of a regular pension contribution. So if you put it all together, you've got a pretty nice pot going here for your retirement. And I know some of you will be saying that in the future you won't be able to buy with this money what you can buy today. And I do understand that. I do understand inflation, but the bottom line here is that any of these amounts, whatever works for you, is better than nothing. But to be completely honest with you, this video isn't really about the specific numbers. It's about the habits that you're going to build here. The habit of finally starting to invest, even if it's just £150 a month or even less, is so important, because most people never take that first step. So after this video, go away, print your bank statement and see where you can make these small changes on a monthly basis to start investing for your future. And if you need help with this, don't forget that the bank statement breakdown videos are based on real people's bank statements anonymously, and you can check out the Google form down below in the description to get a free bank statement breakdown on your finances. And what's even crazier is if you automated your investments each month, regardless of the amount, you are technically ahead of 90% of Brits. Automation is ultimately the key to success when it comes to investing, and I did a full video explaining why this is the case and the data behind it. So I'll put that on the screen right now so you can click it and go and check it out.